The infamous ape. Charlemagne is an alpha like no other. Unparalleled in shrewdness and charisma, he stands a head taller than all the other males, and has fathered more offspring than any ape in living memory. But Charlemagne's dominance on the battlefield is what separates him from other great leaders. Dominance he attained through startling ingenuity. He was the first ape to forge a weapon, sharpening a stone, fixing it to a branch, and wielding it in dozens of conflicts. Richard remembers gravely that first image of his fearsome king leaping into the fray, battle axe in hand, hacking down 5 formidable contenders in quick succession. Few legacies can match that of Charlemagne the Conqueror, the invincible ape, whose name will surely endure for millennia. Lately, the troopers begun to dread the end of their dear king's reign, fearing that upon his death, the strongest, most cohesive chimp community for thousands of miles will inevitably fall into darkness and disarray. Most kingdoms have a definitive hierarchy, and succession is easy to predict. The alpha is often the greatest warrior, an ape who triumphs in battle because of immutable physical characteristics. Characteristics Charlemagne has in abundance. Occasionally the alpha is not the greatest physical specimen, but particularly bold and inspiring, able to forge strong alliances and wield power through popularity. Then, rarer still but not unheard of, is the ingenious ape, the king who rules through cunning and resourcefulness. In Charlemagne's direct line of succession are no less than 4 legitimate candidates, however. William, a brave, ferocious soldier who proudly wields an axe like his leader, and with almost as much success. Henry, smallest of the betas but most admired, charming, genial, inarguably magnetic. Marcus, a poised and measured ape, clever enough to fashion the first double-sided axe and experiment with an array of spears and daggers. Lastly, Richard, Charlemagne's younger brother, a smart, strong chimp, particularly seasoned in battle. Though few would deny his claim, living for so long in his brother's shadow has weighed heavily on the ape, causing him to slouch and garner the unfortunate nickname of Richard the Crooked. During the next few years, the troop flourishes immeasurably. And so too does the strange belief that their leader is immortal. It baffles everyone when the unthinkable happens then, and the king is struck by a sudden and mysterious illness. The greatest warrior the ape world has ever known, a creature undefeated in battle, unmatched in every regard, wakes one morning too weak to move, and draws his final breath before sunset. Although several apes cry foul play, none can prove it. And there follows a period of mourning so intense that no one can even think of replacing the king. Well, almost no one. Richard, who'd been considering this moment for as long as he could remember, immediately springs into action. He first gets Henry on side, promising him his pick of the harem if he renounces his own claim. The dominoes fall easily after this, though William makes a brief attempt at rebellion, slaying 2 of Richard's guards with the battle axe he'd inherited from the late king. Henry swiftly corrals 5 spear-wielding betas, and William is cornered and killed. From the sidelines, Marcus watches on, meditating and briefly considering a rebellion of his own, before eventually falling into passivity and inaction. In return for their unwavering allegiance, Richard has armed every mature ape in the troop, and Marcus knows he has no option but to yield. With a heavy heart and unspoken reluctance, he swears fealty to King Richard, and to Henry, the second in command, now unofficially referred to as King Regent. The long-anticipated post-Charlemagne chaos has arrived though, and King Richard's reign is bleak and turbulent from the start. When 3 members of the harem refuse to breed with him, he swiftly orders their execution, and henceforth the remaining ones only consent out of fear. The kingdom soon becomes a target for neighbouring tribes, who frequently abduct females and plunder resources. Before long, Richard's numbers are dwindling, and the troop that had grown enormous under King Charlemagne's rule is soon no more populous or prosperous than any other in the region. Many apes defect, some merely die of malnutrition, and the disfavoured king has to thwart a new rebellion every week. It seems the only things staving off revolution are his vast stores of weapons and a second in command with enough charm to keep most of the harem loyal. But Henry's own loyalty is only as strong as his word, which tends to alter significantly with each ape he speaks to. One day he convenes with Marcus in the shadiest recess of the kingdom. After lamenting the downfall of their once dominant empire and fondly reliving tales of Charlemagne's conquests, the pair plunder the armoury and embark on a secret campaign. They enlist every mercenary they can find: orangutans, gorillas, baboons, any ape blessed with courage and opposable thumbs. A week later they storm King Richard's stronghold, and a gruesome battle ensues. Dozens of armed chimps clash in the middle ground, scattering the jungle floor with bodies and sending blood-curdling screams high into the treetops. Then during a break in the action, the king catches sight of Henry in the distance and glimpses the chance to end an uprising with one bold, decisive move. He charges with skill and ferocity, deftly felling a large gorilla along the way, before toppling Marcus from a high branch and advancing to within a spear's reach of the diminutive usurper. But Henry retreats, summoning aid at the last possible moment. King Richard is slain by a bonobo with a stone halberd, who smashes his skull several times for good measure. King Henry is beloved by all, and his reign is long and prosperous. For returning peace and stability to the fractured troop, he's revered long after his death, and his legend soon even eclipses Charlemagne's. But neither legacy can match that of Richard the Crooked, the infamous ape, whose name will surely endure for millennia. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, tell your friends. And full video versions of each story are available on YouTube. That's youtube.com/Resonant Tales.